Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. And joining us now to review headlines in today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning, Leila. Good morning, Ruben. Let's start straight away with these day newspapers. The lead story in brazen assault on the Constitution. Kogi swears in new deputy governor. And the Daily Trust has similar story. Kogi deputy governorship. Outrage as Onoja replaces Achuba. It's illegal, NBA, National Assembly, PDP caucus. Yes, clearly what the Constitution states, Section 188, subsection 8, where the panel reports to the House of Assembly that the allegations has not been proved. No further proceedings shall be taken in respect of the matter. And in the case of the deputy governor, the panel set up by the chief judge, directed by the House of Assembly, submitted its report, and the verdict was that they couldn't prove the allegation against the deputy governor. Yet, they went ahead purportedly, because that impeachment is unknown to law, because it's against the Constitution. And they removed him, forced the deputy governor out of his residence, and quickly confirmed the new deputy governor, new in quotes here, Onoja. And the chief judge saw in that deputy governor. So it's like we have a reign of illegality in Kogi State.
Well, I think that, this is the kind of thing you'll find when people are not sanctioned for bad behavior. Of course, it's very clear that this was a kangaroo process. It is illegal. You can only remove a deputy governor or a governor by following the due process of the law. And the Constitution is very clear, on the procedure to be adopted. But in this particular case, virtually every, required procedure was violated. And of course, you've quoted Section 188, subsection 8. And what you have on the ground in Kogi State is clearly a constitutional crisis. I think what is available to Achuba is for him to go quickly to court and, to defend his right to be heard. And it's very straightforward. I believe that the court will find in his favor. However, there is clear indication that by the time it goes to court and that process is completed, maybe the election will have taken place. And, he will probably will have acted in vain. But let it be at least on record that he challenged that illegality. This is not the first time this kind of situation will arise. In Oyo State, in Plateau State, we've had similar instances of governors being removed, without following due process. And the persons involved actually went to court, So there are precedents.
Yes.
And I think that Achuba, should insist on his due rights. However, what I don't quite understand there is the chief judge seeing clearly that, some clear illegality are taking place. Also still going ahead swear in.
Maybe he did not see clearly.
To swear, to swear in, the so-called new deputy governor.
Yes.
But for a governor that is going for an election, because, you can read what has happened there. There is the hand of the governor involved in the entire process. You will expect that the electorate, will stand up for the rule of law and probably, make a statement. But given our level of politics,
and our kind of politics.
Yes, that may not well happen.
Okay, let's move on to other issues. The Nation newspaper, lead story, education potent weapon against poverty, says Tinubu. He made that statement at where he was given an honorary doctorate degree at the Afe Babalola University at Do-Ekiti, a private university that is thriving. But if you look at the Punch newspaper, then you will have the sorry state of state universities. The Punch newspaper. State varsities face hard times as governors cut subventions. Some universities are glorified secondary school, says ASU. No project executed in Uni Osun during Aregbesol's tenure. Lecturers. 260 million monthly subvention can't pay 500 million naira salary. That's Ekiti State University workers. Then in Ondo State, where they have 3 state universities, Ondo State has 3 universities, the situation is also not different, where the governor is saying that we are doing our best to fund our universities. A state with 3 state universities.
Yeah, and that's part of the challenge because, many of these state universities or polytechnics or monotechnics, they were set up to satisfy, political considerations. You'll find in a state that cannot really even pay salaries, you'll find the same state, establishing a state university in maybe 3 senatorial districts, not to talk of polytechnics and monotechnics. And then when another governor comes and does, a review of attempts a review of the situation, you will then find it very difficult to even rationalize those educational institutions because the people in the constituency will refuse. Ethnicity will be read into it. Religion will be read into it. But the net effect of the rot that we have in the education sector in Nigeria, you can see it in terms of the quality of recent products of the university system. I mean, even the National Youth Service Corps, the management had to, protest recently that there were many fake graduates. Employers of labor complain about how
the quality
many of the graduates out of our institutions, can hardly write a letter. Not to talk of even being able to write a successful paragraph in the English language or, being trainable. So this is part of the challenge. It creates, a human capital crisis. And I think that, those who are in charge of the policies will try to be more enlightened and realize that, yes, education, it's a weapon, for the future because it gives you skills. It prepares you for the labor market. And it, at the end of the day, adds to the capacity of the country to compete. If we keep producing people who are not up to it intellectually or in terms of skills, then how do we compete in a world that is very
workforce.
competitive?
It's a shame.
Okay. If we look at the Guardian newspaper, lead story, presidency claims using old vehicles despite yearly budget. Senate rejects 23 billion naira vote for Niger Delta ministry. Panel quizzes commission over secret recruitment. The case of the Niger Delta ministry, whose budget was rejected by the Senate committee. No provision made for ongoing projects. So how do you develop the area if you don't complete ongoing projects? You come with new projects. That budget was turned down, and the minister, Godswill Akpabio, was asked to go back and perhaps bring another budget.
Do you have any foreign
now
stories?
The foreign newspapers, UK to be specific, Daily Express, out of order. Yes. Mr. Speaker, why won't you listen to the 17.4 million who voted for Brexit yesterday? John Becker, the Speaker of the House of Commons, turned down the opportunity for that bill to be presented again, saying that, it will be out of order to do so.
Yeah, to present the same issue, twice in the same session.
Yes.
The House having voted on Super Saturday to stand with Sir Oliver Letwin. Yes.
But the hard work starts today. The Independent newspaper, 110-page bill, 3 days to steamroll Brexit plan. That's what Boris Johnson is planning to do, to force this through in 3 days. But there are a lot of hurdles because opposition...
And it's less than 10 days to Brexit.
But he believes that somehow he may be able to wangle his way through so that by next Thursday, the deadline,
He always believes, doesn't he?
Yes, Britain will be out of the EU, but it's a tough task.
Mr. Efeni, thank you very much for the news headlines.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni. We'll see you tomorrow.